Oh, well, hello, my wonderful brosies of the Maverick Nation, brosies and brosies of the Maverick Nation, and welcome to the final, I think, part of a very, or at least to me, very beloved part of my channel. The last part of a certain what if, known as What If Izuku Was the Reincarnation of Ulquiorra Cipher. What if Izuku Midoriya was the reincarnation of Ulquiorra Cipher? This is going to be part 12. Well, probably the last part of this what if. Probably part 12. And so, today marks a new era. An era of a very long-standing what if here on the channel. The only other what if that I think has nearly as many parts that's an older what if is, well, the older version of Naruto vs. Bleach is no longer there, so we can't include that. But we can include the Aizen and, MHA, the Izuku thing. We can include that, and that would indeed be an answer. Because the damn thing has like 8 parts, so that would indeed be close, but it seems that this what if in particular has a shit ton of parts in comparison to a lot of my other what ifs. But I just have so many that it's kind of hard to keep track of everything. Unless I categorize it in complete numero uno way, whatever the frick you would call that. And as for what exactly would be in this part, well, I guess, one day, Izuku is just chilling, he's taking a nap, and Ulquiorra is just in his head, just watching over him, making sure, not watching over him in a bad way, watching over him in a way making sure he's safe, making sure the number one hero, one half of the number one pro hero, is safe. Just making sure he's safe. And all of a sudden, he hears a familiar voice. You've made him strong. It is your time to go, Ulquiorra. And all of a sudden, he would see the person who the voice basically came from. He would see Orihime. And basically, Ulquiorra he'd basically be able to put 2 and 2 plus 4 together, right away, and basically tell what Orihime means. And he's like, no, I don't want to. And Orihime's like, what? What do you mean, you don't want to? I would think you would be sick and tired of this whole charade. Of someone like him having to depend on you like that. And, freaking Ulquiorra would just be like, well, you're wrong. Besides, I depend on him just as much as he depends on me. We are both, as you would say, in on this together. He has taught me how to truly understand the heart. Before, it was only a foggy shade. I was only slowly beginning to understand before I was so cruelly taken from the physical world. Yet, with the second chance that I was able to get, I was finally able to understand it. Finally, Izuku gave me the path that I needed. Yet I'm not exactly sure if I deserve. I want to stay here so I can ensure that he is safe. He is the hero of the people. You can't just make it to where he's vulnerable like this. And Orihime will just fire back with, if he is truly the hero of the people, then he will be able to defend himself without any worry from anyone else. And, Ulquiorra just fires right back at the ready. He's just like, his mother worries about him. Tia worries about him. Neliel worries the hell about him. And as for Shigaraki, they're best friends. That you would never see that. And because of that, Stark and Lilynette, they're also friends with him and Shigaraki. Everyone here, we're happy now. This is a more peaceful world. A world that Izuku envisioned that he could one day make possible. And you're just going to break that? I thought you were the one who wanted me to make it possible. To give this boy the chance to make it possible. And now you're just going to rip it all to pieces? I don't understand you, Orihime. Why? I don't understand. Is this something like the heart? Is this something I just can't get? Am I still so stupid as to not be able to understand? And then all of a sudden another voice would come out of nowhere. Orihime. He's had enough. And basically, Ulquiorra would realize, Kurosaki Ichigo? And Ichigo would just be like, Ulquiorra Cypher. And Ulquiorra is just like, why? Why did you come here? And basically, like, Ichigo would explain, I came here to fix the problem. And Orihime's like, what do you mean fix the problem? And Ichigo's just like, you see, he's doing just fine. And part of why everything is so much better now for this world is because of the cooperation of the Ankarar and these people. It's because of Ulquiorra's cooperation with Izuku. So, truly, it should be of Izuku's, it should be of Ulquiorra and Izuku's own mindset if they wish to go or not, stay or go. And basically, Izuku would realize that some shit would going on inside his head, and so he would basically just bump into this conversation, and he would be like, Ulquiorra? Are you trying to say stuff without me? Who are you two? And Orihime would basically state that she's Orihime, and like, Ichigo would state that he is Kurosaki Ichigo, because I cannot remember the other part of Orihime's name for the life of me. I am sorry, Orihime fans, wherever you may be. I mean, I'm an Orihime fan, but hey, I'm also a Rukia fan, like Ichirukia, Orihime and Ichigo's relationship, which is basically happen at the end of Bleach, or if you want it to be like an Ichirukia thing. I really don't care. I'm a fan of both. Just as long as you don't enter smut territory. Like freaking yaoi shit. And basically, you know, Ichigo just explains everything. And, you know, Izuku's just like, well, I think enough has been said for you to realize that Ulquiorra isn't going anywhere unless he wants to. Is that understood? Or am I going to have to fight you with force alongside my friends? Alongside my friend, no, my friends. If that is what you make a possibility. And Ulquiorra is just like, I really don't want to have to go through the same thing that happened before, Ichigo. So, please. And Ichigo understands that, like, basically he's talking about the whole Vasto Lorde Ichigo thing. You know, Ichigo remembers the whole thing that was talked about in the Hellverse movie, how it's, like, possible that Vasto Lorde Ichigo could, like, destroy the entire freaking planet. So basically, like, Nine Tails level of power. And so, you know, Ichigo is just like, Orihime, just let it be. Let them be happy. Let this just be the end. And Orihime is just like, whenever I came here, I was guided here by a certain spirit who told me that this wasn't how it was supposed to be, or at least not for as long as it had been. And Ulquiorra's like, what do you mean, Orihime? And Orihime is like, the spirit said that it was only supposed to be for a certain amount of time, for when the boy, Izuku Midoriya, is it not, would eventually become strong enough to defend this world. And then you would be forced to go back. And Ulquiorra's like, oh well then, what is the name of this spirit so I can find it and kill it? And Orihime is just like, the spirit. It's kind of really sad how you don't remember your own sister. Or at least that's what she said. And Ulquiorra's just like, my sister? Zero? Zero's responsible for you doing this? Or Ahime? Zero is the one responsible for you doing what you did that caused me and Izuku to be bunched in together. I never thought she would actually do something kind after everything that happened with Father. But if this is really the end game that she wanted so bad, for once everything was resolved, I do indeed have to say I disagree. With an undying passion. And if you feel like fighting me over it, well, seeing as I am a part of Izuku, we would both have one for all, right? And we would also both have the Lance of Lightning, Lanza del Relampago. So if you want to start a fight, I won't stop you. But just, I'm just letting you know that it won't end pretty, because we're not just going to let you stomp on all over us. And Ichigo was just like, and I understand that, which is why I fully agree with what you're saying. And I don't agree at all with the whole end game of what your sister was planning. Well, I do indeed agree that you have found a great friendship with Izuku. The fact that Zero, this person who was apparently your sister, want to tear that apart? I believe you know how I feel about the heart and how just I don't even want to get into how I feel about your sister, considering that. So, let's just agree that screw whatever your sister says, as long as she's in the mindset that you have to be separated. Because what you and Izuku have is truly a good thing. So, Orihime, let's just get to Byakuya. He's the one who opened the Garganta. And I don't think he's gonna have it open for much longer. And Orihime would be like, oh, yeah, that's right. And, they would just hurry over to Byakuya because he is indeed the one who opened the freaking Garganta that sent them there. And Rukia would be like, so how'd it go? And Orihime would just not want to talk. And Ichigo would just say everything for her. And he'd be like, so yeah, that's how everything went. The whole thing basically got bent because apparently it had something to do with Ulquiorra's sister? Question mark? Yeah, and apparently her name is Zero. And from the way Ulquiorra was talking about it, she's probably also an Ankarar. Just one that we haven't met yet. And one that probably doesn't agree with the way Aizen thinks. Or would ever agree with the way he thinks. However, that still doesn't mean I like anything about her, considering, well, what I heard. Basically, if she ever tries to come around here trying to play the same tricks that she did, using Orihime as basically a scapegoat for something she didn't even plan to have last long enough, regardless of what ties were made during that time period. If she ever tries to come around here, she can expect a Getsuga Tensho to the face. Tensa Zangetsu style. And that is where I'm going to end part 12 off. With a happy ending! Yay! Don't see many of those, do we? Anyways, well, the ending of the whole Air Sans What If can be interpreted however you want to interpret it. However you want to interpret it. The ending of that What If, the Air Sans What If, and the whole ending of the if Izuku was a hollow, that can also be interpreted, but that's a thing. And the whole what if Izuku was a villain, what if, like most of my what ifs can be left like the ones that are ended can be left to interpretation what exactly they mean or what exactly is the message. Like if it was a happy ending, a sad ending, or if it was like both, like 50% happy ending, 50% sad ending, 60% happy ending, 40% sad ending, or 40% happy ending, 60% sad ending. They can be interpreted in multiple different ways. That's kind of how I'd like to do my things. I like to think that they can be interpreted into different points of view depending on who is watching my shit. And so basically I would have liked to leave this open to interpretation on if it really is a happy ending, considering everything that has been going on in these past 11 parts. Seeing as this is part 12, basically all of the parts in the past would have been 11 parts. And, are 11 parts. In the past 11 parts, basically considering everything that went on in those, and everything that went on in this, how exactly are you going to interpret the ending? Interpret it as a happy ending, or interpret it as a fast and forget, like a happy ending or a bad ending? How would you interpret it? I don't know how you're gonna interpret it, but you can interpret it in any which way you want to interpret it. I'm just here to make the content to provide people with entertainment. And to get this shit over with so that I can actually do basically I can get back up to stat with everything and not feel like I'm lagging behind like multiple amounts of my material. And so basically I just finished a what if, and yeah, finished question mark. Basically I should have said finished question mark is what I should have said, because you never know. And I'm actually saying that truthfully, you never really know. Like it could be finished, there could be a sequel. I mean, I myself do not know how I want to do this. If I want to just put in the back burner, just leave it, just be there, on the channel, or if I want to make a freaking sequel, if I want to make a prequel, eh, however I want to freaking do this, if I want to make an alternate freaking version where things go differently, things play out differently. You guys can also interpret it as a villain what if or a hero what if. You guys can interpret it in whatever way you feel like. I really just am here to provide the entertainment. So, like I usually say at the end of these videos, Alonzo and Adausis, because the Dark Shadow Maverick is OUT out of here. Yeah, boys. Bye.